You're manually adding people to folders every time a project starts. There's a better way. Hey everyone, it's Isi here, day 4 of Automate Your Job. Quick question for you. How often do you have to share a folder or folders with multiple people for a project? One new joins in and then you have to share that folder again. Let me show you how to automate this. Let's dive
You'll
in.
be automating the process of access control in Google Drive. So these are the folders that we're using today. So the customer data, the region data, and the sales data. So we want to give permission to other people. Usually you can just click on share and you'd be able to share with other people. But sometimes if there are a lot of people that you have to share it with, then becomes a long-winded process, or if you have to now start looking for the folders. So this will sort of streamline it and make it easier for you to share folders with other people in the future. You can see here that I'm the only one who has access to this folder. So the customer data folder. So it's the same thing for the region data folder, and lastly for the sales data folder. In order to automate this, what we need to do is go to Google Sheets and create a new spreadsheet. So we'll just name that folder access control, and it would have 4 columns. So the folder name, the folder ID, the email address, and then lastly permissions. We'll name the folders. Let's just use the customer data folder now. This is the ID. So the ID is right after this slash here, this alphanumeric digit here. So we copy that. That's for the customer data folder. And then we'll paste that here. For the region data as well, we'll also get the ID. That's everything after the slash. So let's grab that and paste. So I'm just going to name it customer data folder, customer data. So let's just leave it as that. And then region data. I'll input my email address. So the email address here is this one. So let's just input another email address. So I'll use another of my emails. And then the same thing again. Then for the customer data, I'll give it editor access. And for the region data, I'll give it viewer access. This is the prompt we're using today. It's basically going to read the email addresses and permission levels from the sheet and grant these people access to the specified Google Drive folder. So let's copy that and go to ChatGPT to generate the prompt, or use any other AI model that you're familiar with. Just give it a couple of seconds to generate. Generated this, so I'll just copy the code and I'll go back here. But just before I do that, just to make sure that this email address doesn't have access, I'm going to copy the link for the region data. So let's copy that, and then I'll go to the profile and paste. So you can see here that it says that there's no access, right? I'll just go back and then I'll go to extensions and app script. I'll just name this access control. I'll get rid of the function here, grab that again and go back to app script and paste. So just making sure that everything is correct. And then I would save this and run. Give it a couple of seconds to run. Comes up with the permissions again. We'll review permissions and give access. So go to access control. I'm giving it permissions and continue. Shows it here that I've been added as editor to the customer data and then added as viewer to the region data. So let's try that out. I will go to the region data now. So I've just copied this and let's go to that folder. So now I have access. So yeah, access was denied before. Let's refresh this and you can see that I have access now. But just to test the permission level, let's try to add something to this region data and see what happens. I'm going to move this image here and let's see what happens. It says you don't have permission to upload to this folder. So that works perfectly well. And I'll just grab the link for the customer data. So let's get that and see if the editor access works. And just going to paste this here and click on enter. So let's see if we can upload something to this folder. Yes, indeed we can, and it's been uploaded already. So this just goes to show that the permissions that we have given to this email address here works for the editor on the customer data folder, and the viewer access on the region data folder works. And that's it, your drive permissions automated in seconds. So you can reuse this for your project folders, your client folders, and department folders. Anytime you want to add a new person, copy the folder name and change the email address. That way you can have people added, and you can add as many people as you'd like to instead of giving one person permission at a time. It's faster and easier this way.
And tomorrow is the last day of this series. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, or follow, and I'll see you tomorrow.